Well, Alan, it's and know that you're going to be in Portland, and everybody is really happy and really excited that you're going to be here.
Well, I'm looking forward myself. It's so beautiful out there, beautiful and green and clean.
That's what Reggie Houston says.
All right, all right.
Reggie's going to be playing that day, and Reggie moved here before the year before Katrina, and
Yeah.
has just everybody loves Reggie here. He really does, and he's a good friend of mine. Um, well, let's just get to the let's just start with the gig. Uh, how many pieces are you going to have with you, and what can we expect to hear?
Well, it'll be my quartet.
Uh huh.
Uh, that's an easy travel group,
Uh huh.
and that'll be rhythm.
Uh huh.
And we'll be doing songs that I've written over the years that were made popular by other folk. That's generally who I am. However, I will do some songs that are not popular that maybe haven't even been recorded yet, because
Really?
I do want to share those things because sometimes they sit on the back burners for so long I lose interest in them, and unfairly so. So I will probably do some songs that I've written that hasn't been released and haven't even been recorded yet.
That's exciting. Who's in your band?
Well, Renard Poche on guitar,
Oh yeah.
he's quite a rocker,
Uh huh.
and on bass I have Roland Guerin. And Roland has played, he's an extreme, marvelous jazz player as well as a good writer and performer in his own right. He'll be on bass. And drums, I have Herman LeBeau, who's my son-in-law.
Is that right?
Yes, and he's a wonderful player, and that's I make up the quartet.
Uh huh. Uh huh. These are new songs or songs that you say you've just been keeping around.
Yes, well, I'm always preparing to record, but it takes
Uh
me a
huh.
long time to decide. Yes, I'm going in record. So since these songs, I have some songs that I've been contemplating recording over the past year and have never gotten around to it.
Uh huh.
So I'm going to incorporate them into my set, and I may learn something about them by doing that. But I do want to share them with people who know that the reason I'm there is because I'm a writer who writes songs,
Yeah.
and these are some that you haven't heard yet.
What do you expect to learn by playing these songs about them?
Well, it would be nice to see how they feel
Uh huh.
uh, coming from me to an audience for the first time, because it's not easy to play a new song on people many times, because people like to know who they're coming to hear and they have some reference in mind, usually certain songs they want to hear,
Right.
since this is a chance to hear it from the writer himself. So I like to please people who feel like that. When you're doing a song that no one has heard, uh, it doesn't have any help on its own. It hasn't had any approval from the airways from other folk who liked it,
Uh huh.
and it hasn't resonated yet. So I would see how that feels. Some songs they catch on quicker than others. You find that out usually once they get out there. But perhaps I'll find that out right on stage. But most of all, it'll just be a pleasure to be that personal enough to play songs that's not written for an audience who thought I was worthy of coming to see.
Ah, that's really interesting. What are you writing about these days?
Well, I have the next project I'm going to do on my own is about people and places.
Uh huh.
Everywhere I've been since I've started traveling after Katrina, I wrote about everywhere I went.
Uh huh.
So I will be there'll be a song about many places, and it's called The Places. And I've written songs about certain people who I care for dearly as well. So it'll be called People and Places.
Well, that's well, we can't wait.
Great.
I mean, I mean, and the type of music, is it going to be jazzy? Is it going to be funky? Is it what? Where are you as far as that goes?
It's going to be a chameleon like I am. Yes, I have really been a comedian because of who I being a producer, and most of my life was spent uh, writing and arranging for other folk to do.
Yeah.
So I have whoever I'm working with, I'm part of them. I don't expect them to just move into some prearranged arrangements and way of life, and that for them to join in. I wait until I'm with them and can see what them plus me equal, and it's usually something new that wouldn't have happened if it wouldn't have been for them. Like all the songs I wrote for Lee Dorsey,
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't have written not one of them if it wouldn't have been for him the way he is.
Huh. He was a
And
he was a boxer in Portland. I hear. I heard
oh
tell he
yes,
lived in Portland and boxed.
yes, I heard that too, and from him. And he told me he understood his call in life one time in the ring when he was when he was on his way down. He understood that he wanted to sing.
It's a lot easier on you. Um, uh, but so much of your work, which has been so meaningful to people, are your tunes. The Southern Nights and the Sweet Dreams. I mean, um, over the years, I've had a lot of different radio programs, and there was a time there for many years when I would close every show because it was a late night show. I would close every show with Sweet Dreams.
Oh, how nice! How very nice! Very few people mention that song.
Well, it's beautiful.
How very nice! Thank you.
Yeah, very meaningful. People, one time I played something else instead, and I got phone calls. Where's Sweet Dreams? You have to play Sweet. You're supposed to end the show with Sweet Dreams.
Well, I'm glad to know that. I'm going to add that to my set because I've never done it on stage.
Well, don't make me cry, because it's a beautiful song. Um,
Thank you.
uh, now, I saw an interview that you did that said that uh, about every 10 years you check back and see how you're doing. What's the nature of that, and how did that start?
It's on fours. Yes, it's on four. It started when I was 14.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that it's a great idea, but I did this and I'm still doing it.
Uh-huh.
When I was 14, I remember turning to the left on this. It was one of those elongated rectangular piano stools, and I leaned over away from the keyboard and decided on my 14th birthday that I would check with myself every four, like 14, 24, 34, 44, etc. And and I was going to check back and see how he's doing and see if he had any questions, if I had any answers, or if I had anything I wanted to share. And that has happened on every four.
Well, what did you find out last time?
Oh, good heavens. Well, I was looking around at the world and noticing all the things that are available to one who's in the business of what I'm in,
Uh-huh.
and how I feel about what I'm doing, the songs, and I do recall telling this 14-year-older that I'm taking more time now when a song would have been through many years ago. As I live, that's not good enough anymore.
Oh.
So I reported that to this 14-year-older. I've said that once before to him, but I said it in a different fashion this time because I had a little more experience when I reported things like that, and also that I'm grateful that this profession chose me, and I'm still. This only feel like a few days later than when I first made that statement that I would check with me.
Well, in that way, you're a lucky man. I
Oh,
wish we could all feel that way. You know.
well, I don't know how to take it sometime, but I'm having a wonderful time.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, your Bright Mississippi album. was surprising to a lot of people who because we thought everything you did was going to be funky from now
That I asked that. I, I I I open myself up for that. Great.
on. But it was such a delightful surprise to hear Alan Toussaint play Thelonious Monk. Now,
Uh,
here's the thing of it. Here's the thing I've always found about, especially New Orleans musicians, is that no matter how funky they are or how great they are in other fields, every one of them wants to play jazz. Am I right about that?
yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I think deep down inside of us, we have that we want to do,
Yeah.
and it's all right. It's really okay. It's free to give it a go. And what's the worst can happen to you is that you fall in love again. Uh, so it's all right. But I must say about the Bright Mississippi, it was as surprising to me as to anyone else, and even more sometimes, because that's how Joe Henry saw me.
Ah,
He chose all of the songs, all of the musicians, when and where to do it all, when to take a break. He did everything but play the piano, and I'm eternally grateful to him for seeing me in such a sophisticated light and with some freedom to be rowdy if one wants to. I just think he was really cool for that.
I'm surprised that a man like you, who has been a producer your whole life and been the guy in charge, would allow someone else to step in like that.
Well, that was a luxury, and I
Yeah.
understood that it was. And since this, I've had my whole life to just be me. Here's an opportunity to be the spoiled brat, if you want. Let someone else take the reins on it, and I said he gave me a whole lot of creative freedom, and I certainly hope that I gave him as much or more because I was willing to try whatever he wanted to give a go, and I did just that.
Uh-huh. And of course, he did similar things for Solomon Burke and Betty
Yes,
LaVette.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's good at that. He sees things off the beaten path
Uh-huh.
than everyone else, and that's one of the very charming things about him. He's a very intelligent man, cares a lot, loads for the music, and just a very good man to work with. And he's always thinking off the beaten path. And we have enough of similar line stuff that I love dearly, but it's nice to be off the beaten path.
Uh-huh. Did you ever meet Monk?
No, I didn't. But good
Yeah.
heavens, he certainly has left something for the world to ponder on for a long time and enjoy very much.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess why of all the people in the world, I guess you would have liked to have met Monk. Well, oh boy, people would have liked to have been a fly on the wall to hear that conversation.
Well, to hear Monk's music is to meet Monk to me.
Uh-huh.
And I have something real charming that came from him. Someone sent a note to me, and maybe everyone has it now, of something he wrote on a napkin or something, messages to his band. And the things he said was so human and so much of what it should be for you to feel comfortable and at home and human with Monk.
Uh-huh.
So in a way, I've met Monk, like all of us.
You're right about that. When you called yourself a chameleon a little while ago, all of it, what just popped into my head was Herbie Hancock's tune, right? And then I thought, I don't remember hearing you play electronic keyboards hardly at all. You're just so well known for playing the piano. Is there a reason that you didn't really branch out into electronic keyboards?
I never thought about it, and plus, before Katrina, I wasn't performing enough to consider that as a showpiece.
Uh huh.
So most of the time when I was playing before, that was on recordings, and I go in there to play the piano because that's how I live every day, and
Yeah.
just hadn't thought about it.
Uh huh.
I did use electric piano on Southern Night, the original.
Oh
I used
yes. Oh
I
yes.
used the Rhodes, and I sang through a Leslie and to
I
set
know.
it up above the earth a little bit. But yeah, I didn't make a deliberate effort not to do the keyboard. I just hadn't never got around to it.
Uh-huh. When you compose, a friend, a bass player, a pretty well known bass player named David Friesen, a jazz guy who lives in Portland, once told me that when he knows that there's a tune waiting for him at the piano, he writes on the piano. How does it work for you?
It works anywhere that I am. I collect scraps.
Huh.
I stop on the side of the road and make personal notes on pieces of paper. And now, since we have iPhones, we can leave ourselves a message as if it's a stenographer.
Uh-huh.
Everywhere I am, I'm inspired so much by just passing a corner or waiting at a red light. Uh, it's just, it's like ideas crowd you with a smile. That, how about me? What about me? Am I? If you don't feel it right now, you're going to feel it later. You better check me out. Things like that.
Uh-huh.
So I make a lot of notes. I collect a lot of wishbones and feathers trying to make a chicken later on. So that's how it goes with me. And by the time I get to the piano, many times I already know what I'm going to do because it came to me.
Uh-huh.
So I'll just play it just for the heck of it, to play it, to sing it, to see how it feels, and to continue and build from there on it. I do definitely spend loads of time at the piano to do all of the rest of it, but the initial idea comes anywhere that I am, with or without an instrument.
Huh.
The plots and all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So do you play every day?
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
I wake up in a hurry to get to the music.
Do you? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, that's wonderful. Um, yeah, I guess I couldn't talk to you without bringing up Professor Longhair because I
Oh,
know that
you shouldn't talk to me without bringing up
I know
Professor Long.
that because I know you're still playing Professor Longhair.
Oh yes, I don't leave home without him. Professor Longhair is just a very innate part of who I am, and I don't mind that, even though it might seem to some copy. No, I wouldn't say copy. Influence strongly. That's what I consider, and of course, I like to copy Professor Longhair also at moments, but that's just for moments. But even when I'm not doing Professor Longhair kind of music,
Uh-huh.
there's some Professor Longhair that just lives with me, and I'm glad of that.
Uh-huh. Tell the story about the first time you ever heard him in person, would you?
Oh, when I heard him in person, it was at a sock hop. Uh, I don't know, that won't may not translate to youngsters today, but high schools used to have sock hops, and it was usually not the seniors either, just sock hop, little dances. And
Uh-huh.
I saw Professor Longhair because I was there to play a little later, but he was there playing a small spinet piano,
Huh.
and it was Professor Longhair. And of course, when I saw Professor Longhair for the first time and playing a piano, it was a little spinet. I thought, good heavens, who would bring something like this for someone like him to play?
Ah.
But I immediately got over that and just was glad to be there. And I heard him and saw him for the first time, and I didn't even look at his fingers to see how that was happening. I was just so in awe to be this close to him, about 5 feet from him. So that was the first time I saw him. The next time I saw him was he was a. I went to a record shop called, it was an A1 distributor,
Uh-huh.
to buy a recording, and the guy said, "Well, we don't have that record up front, but in the back we have it in the warehouse. I'll call for it." And the stockroom boy who brought that recording out, and a box of other records, was Professor Longhair.
Oh, jeez.
That was a few years later. And I was just elated to see this man. It didn't dawn on me that, what is he doing carrying boxes of records? I again was in the presence of this royalty. And that was the second time I saw him. And I just was really happy about that. it didn't dawn on me until much later that perhaps he shouldn't have been a record stockroom guy. But music business wasn't taken as big as it is these days, so I understood that, so to
Yeah.
speak. He was making a living in between.
Yeah. Did he ever teach you anything personally?
No, not at all. But
Really?
you mean to actually show me
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
say, oh no, not like that. But he taught me everything that I have of his by me just trying and trying and waiting for his next lick and waiting for the next recording. And I just love him dearly. I learned everything that I ever heard of his and was always waiting for the next.
Uh,
So I've had quite a time with him. Of course, later on we got together when we did this video called "Piano Players Rarely Ever Play Together" with he and Toots Washington and myself, supposedly three generations of
uh-huh.
pianists.
Uh-huh.
And I was elated to be a part of that monumental undertaking. It was beautiful. So I heard him talk and even give some orders on what he thought should happen. So all of that was just gold to me.
And to the rest of us, to
Oh,
the rest of us who saw it, believe me, because then because now you're the professor.
well, yeah, in a way,
You are. You
thank
are.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a gracious thing to say. Thank you.
Well, listen, I'm going to let you go because I know we have our time is about up. We'll be very happy to see you in Portland for the Blues Festival. It is the second biggest blues festival in the country, and we're very happy that you can be here. There's always a big New Orleans contingent. We have a crew here, by the way, the Misty Crew of Nimbus, and
Terrific.
they'll be marching. And actually a keyboard player from Lafayette in that band, who leads that band and started the crew.
All
And
right.
well, we'll sure be happy to see you.
Well, thank you. I'm looking forward. Thank you.
All righty. Thanks for spending the time with us.
Sure thing.